Right, we are up to part 4 of this box, and what I've done here is I've plugged up everything in preparation for spray glue. So that's all plugged up, same at the top obviously, and around here just shoved a rag in the holes for them. So I've also cut up, there's 4 pieces of carpet there, which are the 4 pieces I'll be using to trim around this. So adding to the 3 amps in the back, I've also got to now fit this battery. This is a SSB. It was 85 amp hour. There's exactly the same one in the front of the car as well as the starter battery. So we'll be running 3 batteries. 2 of the batteries are running the stereo, and the other one of these is actually for the inverter in the car. So, alright, 2 sides trimmed, obviously the outsides of both, and then the front, just like that. Got my assistant today as well. So. Alright, now that's trimmed without getting to the holes yet. Now, I would love to show you actually while I'm trimming it, but this is kind of important, so I don't really have time to do that. So everything's trimmed in all the corners and everything. There's a flap there that's just going to be cut off, should I say, underneath. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with the way the trim's come out. Looks good. And now I've just got to cut out the circles. Circles will be trimmed in to there like that. The actual porthole is just going to be a cut out. Alright, sub holes trimmed and cut out. I've just got to trim out the little notches for where the actual T-nuts are, but other than that it's actually trimmed into the circles. And so here it is, as you can see, the port. Now these are the screw heads, which I've just drilled in flush, so they're a little Allen key head and they sit in there perfectly flush, and there's actually no thread on them until they get to here, so they're going to look pretty neat in the box. And there we have the box now, as you can see, trimmed completely. And well, from the front side I still haven't trimmed the back actually. And I have the port actually mounted in there. So that's physically mounted with the little sunken bolts which sit flush. And yeah, as you can see on the inside. Alright, so I've cut 2 holes in the bottom here. And I've just put a little round over on and rounded them, so they're just for the amp cables. They're pretty decent sized holes, and the cables will be able to come up through those to the battery in the middle. Now we currently have the port in. Obviously I've got one sub, he's just literally holding it in there because we haven't mounted it, it's still in the actual wood room here. But this is it's like a light green, but yeah, if you just want to do the collar wheel and whatever, change it around a bit. There's some flashing collars, as you can see the port lighting up. This looks pretty cool. And then I haven't actually got the Perspex in the top yet, but it is what it is. And that's just like a Perspex prism, which I can put my hand in, which is pretty cool. Inside the box, and go blue. Blue looks the best, I think, of all colours. Yeah, blue looks pretty. And these subs light up, so the cone on the sub actually takes the light. So it's pretty cool once I have both subs in it. But there's a look with the lights on. And I'll turn the light on here in the wood room. So that's what we're looking at. And other than that, the LEDs themselves, and just around the rim up the top, just like that. And then I also got the rest of it trimmed in the back here, and all finished up. Terminals are in and everything. So we're looking good. So finally time to mount our Perspex in the top. I've done 2 layers of foam as the gasket, and so now we're just going to finally peel. We're going to peel the underside off for now, leave the top side on. We'll peel the underside of the Perspex off and we'll mount it down. Alright, so we just added a simple LED strip to the underside of the back where the amps are. We're just going to still run off the same controller, the Bluetooth one. That's just a blue strip of lights though, not RGB. I just quickly whipped up a battery box for the Prado. That's just the SSB. It's literally just a box with a hard floor. Just going to trim it in the grey carpet, and I'm just going to actually just screw it straight down into the floor at the back. Obviously I've made it the same height as the battery, so the only way it's coming out is if he rolls the car. Is in the car. There is the battery sitting in its little casing there. There's my LEDs wired, both the internal ones and the ones on the underside. We're running off that little Bluetooth module, so I've just got to put power to that. Obviously I've got all the 4 gauges that will be running to the battery and earths and everything, and so just wiring that right now. I'll come around here, and there is the box in the car finally. Obviously I haven't got the top on yet, all the perspex exposed, but it is in the car. Thought I'd show you a little middle progress. So I got both mono blocks in and wired up the battery in its box and mounted. Now, as pointed out in the comment section of part 3, I did actually put the T-nuts on the wrong side. I even actually went and double checked one of my own personal videos from a few years ago, and yes, they were actually on the other side. So kind of a mental blank. What I'm assuming is I was kind of thinking nothing on the inside of the box, and I just put them on the outside. But anyway, what I've done, I'll put you through the hole. As you can see, probably through the port there, I have now installed T-nuts on the backside here, and then these ones I'm just going to pop off now. So the amps are wired now, and this is pretty much it. I've just got 2 more zip ties I want to put in, just down on the sides of the 4-channel in the middle. But you got to remember the roof is going to sit all the way to here, so pretty much you won't even, you know, if you get down low, you'll be able to look back at it, but you won't ever get this kind of vantage, like this kind of viewpoint straight down. So anyway, we've got all the lugs obviously on positive and negative there, and behind, it's not a mess behind or anything, everything's zip tied behind on each side pretty neatly. So I've got the top piece on. It really is so clear because you can't see any edge. You want to put your hand straight through it, so it doesn't even look like that's sitting on anything, but it is. So this is just going to be mounted down now. I'm just going to put some tack nails through it, because the top piece sandwiches it anyway. Alright, there we are together. I haven't got the car back together obviously yet, but perspex, cover, walk around the back, and we've got amps in the back. Alright, just graced some focals. We've drilled out the holes all to 6.5mm, so we've got enough to get our bolts through. And I'm just going to give them a vacuum, and they'll be going in this light up box, which is looking awesome. I'm around the back as well. The back lights up as well. Does the same thing as the front does. The blue and the Alpine amps. Alright, subs are in, and it is pre-tuned. So we're just going to slide this, so put this in now, just to have a look at it. All covered up. Alright. Just got it on a collar flash at the moment, as we can see. Looking pretty good. I'll pull the top out. Subs. Cool.
You do what you want when you
seats up. So there's a little demo for you. as you can see, I got the drawer, the shelf back in here. Pretty much this is finished. I don't really have much else to do, so I might go over and give it a final vacuum and stuff like that. But as you see, the subs flex pretty good. Now right now that's actually it's under half gain on those amps, so I'm just going to let it run in because it is brand new. So we're going to let it run in for probably a month or two, let the guy use it, and then I can always turn it up more. But this definitely, going by my ear meter, is as loud as a Jackaroo, if not slightly louder. So probably a 46, 47, that kind of territory of sound, but a bit lower frequency. The Jackaroo is probably peaking around 40. This probably peaks more 36 or something. It's definitely lower. These subs play lower. So it sounds a little bit better than the Jackaroo does. I'm happy to admit that. So anyway, that's that. And it's still, again, the whole point in this is I'll put these seats back now, and this is a fully functional floor in the rear. The sides are open here, so you can still get to his jack. You can still get to this as well. We put these sides in because I know he's going to shove jumper leads and all different stuff, because it is actually a 4B that goes off-road, unlike mine, and I didn't want stuff falling around into the sub, so I just blocked it off. I did consider doing a little side piece here, which I can still do. I can always add that later if I want to. As for now, though, we're going to go with that.